Welcome to Two Dumb White Guys Summer Edition. My name is Paul Davidson.
My name is Scott Norman.
And today we are going to find out whether or not Mr. Norman has dementia. He's going to be taking the St. Louis University Mental Status Examination, or as my wife's business, as she's a social worker dealing with the elderly, calls it, the SLUMS exam. So he's going to see whether or not he is demented.
Probably.
He probably is. So we'll first start off just filling it out. All right. My wife uses this to kind of gauge whether or not someone has dementia. She uses it to see how bad the people's dementia is getting, and it's a useful tool for her. And she was like, "Hey, you should see if Norman's demented because I think he is."
All right.
So first off, your
Proving
name.
all you kids right. My name is Scott Norman. Do I need the middle name?
It's up to you.
Social security number?
Yes.
We'll just go Scott Norman.
Scott Norman. Okay.
My social security number is GULLIBLE.
How old are you?
I am 27.
You're 27 at this taping. There
taping.
will be a lot of time-sensitive tapings where if you're playing along at home,
Yes.
Mr. Norman will sound demented.
That is true, yeah.
But
if you're in my class 10 years from now and listening to this podcast, first off, you must be really bored because this is old. And secondly, yeah, I'm off by at least 10 years.
all right, is the patient alert?
Well,
That's a no.
I used to be. Now I'm an X-lert.
You're and your level of education.
College.
Technically, you have some masters now.
Some masters, yes. I have
Some
one
masters.
one master's class and one half week of another master's class.
All right, so first exam. So in order for
I'm
you,
kind of like nervous. Like I'm genuinely. I'm a little flustered.
first question is, what day of the week is it?
It is Wednesday, my dudes. Okay.
All right, what year is it?
It is 2019.
All right. What state are we in?
Confusion. Missouri.
I'll give you a 0.5. I'll give you a 0.5. All right, this is where it gets difficult.
All right, that was hard, man.
Please remember these 5 objects. I will ask
Oh,
you
gosh.
what they were later.
I suck at this.
An apple,
Yeah.
a pen, a tie,
Pen, pineapple, pen.
a house, and a car.
Die, house, car, pineapple, pen.
All right, question 5. If you have $100 and you go to
gosh.
the store and buy a dozen apples for $3,
Wait,
and
how many dollars do I have? I'm sorry, I was thinking about pens and pineapples.
you have $100. And if you go to the store and buy a dozen apples for $3 and a tricycle for $20, how much money did you spend?
Now, when you say a dozen apples for $3, you're saying $3 total for the dozen.
Yes.
Okay. And to buy a tricycle? Mm-hmm. For how many dollars?
20.
So then all you're asking me is 100 minus 23.
How much money did you spend?
Oh. $23.
You okay, good. Wow, you're really scaring us here. And how much money do you have left?
Okay, that's what I just assumed the extra level of difficulty and thought that's where it was going. And the answer to that is 77.
All right. I'll give you another 2.5 on that one.
Oh gosh, I'm already senile now.
All right. So I actually gotta get my timer out.
Oh gosh.
It's a minute of Mr. Norman guessing. So you have 1 minute. How many animals can you name in 1 minute? Go.
Dog, cat, zebra, horse, cow, elephant, monkey. I mean, where do we go with this? Bat, chimpanzee.
You have 50 seconds.
Elephant. Did I repeat that? Dolphin, pig, chipmunk, squirrel. I already said zebra.
You already said zebra.
Lion. I hate the pressure.
You still have 30 seconds.
I almost said a heffalump, but that was made up.
That's not a real animal. I'd have to subtract an animal for a made-up animal.
All right. Oh gosh, I forgot what I've already said. I'm senile.
You have 10 seconds.
A seagull, a hawk, an eagle, pterodactyl, a T-Rex.
All right, that's time. That's a minute. I'm not gonna lie. It's like if you could only name 0 to 4 animals, you got no points out of 3. 5 to 9, you got 1 point. 10 to 14, you got 2 points, and you were sitting on 14 animals for a solid 30 seconds. And so you almost lost a point there, but you came through at the end thanks to the birds. So the birds are good for something. Finally. All right. What were the 5 items I asked you to remember earlier?
A pen, an apple, a tie, I think a house and a car.
There you go. You got all 5 points there.
Thank you.
All right. I'm going to give you a series of numbers, and I would like you to give me them to me backwards. So, for example, I say 42, you say
24.
All right. We'll start off with the first one. 87.
78.
649.
946.
All right, and last but not least, 8,537.
What was it, 7539?
Sure it was. Sure it was.
Oh, 7358. Gosh.
All right, so this
He's looking at me disapprovingly. It's making me anxious.
is a clock face. Please put the hour markers and the time markers at 10 minutes to 11 o'clock.
10 to 11?
Yep.
Okay, so that's 12. So that's 9.
Don't worry, I'll post a picture of this in the show.
11. What was the
10 minutes till 11.
10 to 11?
Yep.
All right, so big hand, big nubby hand here. Oh, no, excuse me, because the big hand is short. The big fat hand.
This is whenever we do need a video.
Big nubby hand, and then
podcast.
the little ticker, minute hand. Oh, 10 to 11. I made that 15 to 11. Dang it. No. Oh, gosh.
You just need to remind yourself, like right now, I need you to remind future you, whenever you're listening to this, is that you've only been a father for about 2 weeks, and so you still have not adjusted yet.
Oh, gosh. Not even 2 weeks. It'll be 2 weeks Friday.
All right. Please press. Please place an X on the triangle.
Like,
ladies and gentlemen, he put the correct X.
I thought there was like some kind of trick
triangle.
question about this for a second. I was getting a little nervous again.
All right. Which figure above is the largest? Out of the square, the triangle.
Because it's definitely
that's
largest.
the clock.
The square.
The square is the largest. So I'm going to circle his correct answer there. All right. Now it's time for me to tell you a story.
Oh, great.
I'm going to tell you a story. Please listen carefully because afterwards I'm going to ask you some questions about it. Jill, we all know Jill, was a very successful stockbroker. She made a lot of money on the stock market. She then met Jack, a devastatingly handsome man. She married him and had 3 children. They lived in Chicago. She stopped work and stayed at home to bring up her children. When they were teenagers, she went back to work. She and Jack lived happily ever after. What was the female's name?
Jill.
When did she go back to work?
When her kids were teenagers.
What work did she do?
Stockbroker ring.
And what state did she live in?
Illinois.
All right. And that, believe it or not, is the end of the test. Now we have to...
I made it.
You made it. You
well,
survived.
I don't know if I made it. We'll see if I made it. What do I have?
All right, so since you have, it has it broken up, you have less than high school education or high school educated, and since you are high school educated, you have to score at least a 27 to be normal.
Oh, gosh.
If you have below a 27, if you have a 21 to a 26, you have a mild cognitive disorder, and then if you have below a 20, you have dementia, or you're probably demented. So you have 1 point. 2 points, 3 points, green points, blue points,
red point,
point red. All right, you're at 13.
Point break.
You're at 14.
Red October.
17. You're at 19.
Whew. By the skin of my teeth.
By the skin of your teeth. You are just barely
I'm just
normal.
I think all of my students would know that if I am normal, it's just barely.
You are just barely normal. So that was the SLUMS. What do you think of it?
I think that the one issue with the test is that, like, even if someone who gives tests all the time, it just makes you anxious. Like, so it makes you be like, oh no, what if I, and so if you did have any kind, like if you were old
And had test-taking anxiety?
yeah, and had like either test-taking anxiety or you just like it took you a minute to think about it, then I feel like you would really struggle with this and you might be slightly misdiagnosed, or at least you'd get the MNCD thing.
The mild neurocognitive disorder.
Yeah.
Which, keep in mind, this isn't an official, like, determiner. It's just one of the tools that you can use to help figure out if someone has dementia.
Yeah, because so like for instance, the numbers thing, I suck with numbers. Like I'm just really bad at keeping numbers in order, except pi. I don't know why I can do 3.141592653589793238462643383. Check me, I'm right. But
He's been waiting to do this since Pi Day.
so
He was very disappointed when we didn't have a Pi Day episode.
but you got it now. So, but for real, like I'm really, really bad with numbers. And kids in my history class will notice that I talk big story arc. You
don't focus on the dates.
I don't make them memorize like exact dates unless it's something like, December 7th, 1941 or September 11th, 2001. Like super significant dates. But other than that, I don't. And part of that is because I genuinely do struggle with keeping numbers in order. I have to have them written down in front of me usually.
And knowing my wife's experience in doing this, because she does this on a semi-regular basis, like the big questions that she's looking for is what day of the week it is. Because if you can't name that, that's a first big tip that you might have a little bit of
If you had asked me in like February in the middle of a week, I might not have been able to get it.
Well, like she said, what year is it? She quite often gets people that think it's like the 50s or the 60s. What state we're in? That's a big one. I
still think I should have gotten a bonus point for confusion.
And like sometimes she'll ask who's the president, and then she's kind of moved away from that because of the craziness that will usually come along with asking who's the president. So,
Huge successful question.
But that what year it is, what day of the week it is, what state are we in, what time of year it is, those are the big questions that she asks to try to see whether or not someone has dementia. So
that is interesting. I would be curious to see what would happen if you gave this test, like you gave it the exact same way to our students. How many of them would measure cognitive disorder or dementia? Just on the
not paying attention.
Yeah, not paying attention or the test-taking anxiety. How many kids would kind of be like, wait,
And in their defense, they are allowed an extra 2 points in both categories. Like for less than high school educated, which all of our students would be, it's a 30 to a 20, a 25 to a 30 is normal. 20 to 24 is a mild neurological disorder, and then a 19 is dementia.
Okay, so they would have a little bit more room to play with then.
Unlike you. In all honesty, yours should have been even higher, so you might have one. But you do technically have one because you have a newborn.
Yeah, I have mild dementia.
Anyway, well, that was one of our short but sweet, probably not that short, but that was a summer edition of Two Dumb White Guys. Just to kind of fill you in as the summer goes on. Check out, there'll be a couple more of these whenever this one gets posted. I don't know.
We'll try and drop it on a Wednesday.
To really confuse you.
Before my birthday, so that I'm still right on all my answers.
Anyway, my name's been Paul Davidson.
My name, Lord willing, is and will be Scott Norman.
And we have been Two
Dumb White Guys.